Hi, it's Tommy Sheehan from Guru Nutrition, and this is the last of the 3 video emails I wanted to send about habits versus hunger. First week I talked about recognizing the difference between a habit versus hunger. Last week I talked a little bit about nutrition and the foods that actually make us more hungry and not healthy. This week I want to talk about what we need to do to change those habits, and it's not as easy as it sounds. Everybody knows that willpower doesn't work. It doesn't matter how disciplined you are, willpower doesn't work. To change the habits, we actually have to change the way that the brain thinks about certain things. And that's what we do here with our neural reconditioning. Habits are actually what have been built into our neural tissue. If you take a CD and you see a CD that's been burned, you can see the little tracks that are burned on the actual CD. That's basically what happens in our brain to the neural tissues, but it's called engrams. There are engrams that are ingrained into our brain. That's the unconscious competence that comes with developing a habit. It's like driving home from work. You don't have to think about it consciously. You've done it so many times that you just know where to go. And it's the same thing with our eating habits. It is so difficult to retrain our brain to new eating habits because we've been doing them for so long. What we do here is we create these neural files using brainwave entrainment technology, which actually changes the neural tissue in our brain. And what happens is we have to atrophy the old engrams that are ingrained into our tissue and develop new ones. And that takes a minimum of about 20 to 25 days, just like when you hear it takes habits about 21 days to develop or 21 days to break. But there's an interesting story that was done in the 1960s to astronauts. They wanted to teach astronauts how to cope with spatial disorientation. So they made them all wear these convex lenses so that their world was upside down. They had to wear them 24 hours a day. When they got up in the morning, everything that they saw was actually upside down. And this went on. They were bumping into things. They were very distressed. But they wanted to see what would happen. And what happened is after 26 days, the first astronaut got up, and everything was turned right side up, even with the lenses on. And what that proved to the scientists was that we can actually rewire our brains. So you've heard the term, what fires together wires together, and that's what happens in our brains. After 31 days, all of the astronauts had accomplished the same thing, and they were seeing everything right side up, even with the convex lenses on that showed their world upside down. So to learn more about this, click on the link and we'll tell you a little bit more about how we do the neural reconditioning. But to change the habits permanently, willpower does not work. You have to do something to actually retrain the brain, develop new patterns of thinking about what you eat, and you can actually create new behaviors and new tastes so that what used to taste good, like a piece of chocolate cake, you can turn that into something that might be a lot more healthy and have the same cravings for that food that you might have had for something that was less healthy. So thank you very much. Next week I'll be reviewing the movie Forks Over Knives. Not on video. I'm going to write it up. Leanna and I went and saw it in Cambridge last Friday. It is a life-changing movie, and I'm going to encourage you all to see it. I'm currently working to see if we can get it a little closer than Cambridge, which is where it's being shown right now, and it's the only place it's being shown in the area. So thanks, everybody, and have a great week.